Welcome back to God in Our Experience. Spiritual readings from the book of Matthew to encounter the living presence of Jesus Christ with us and in us every day. The passage that we're reading today is the last part of our initiation as disciples of Jesus, and it is the call to follow him. Matthew chapter 4, verse 18 through 22. As he walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who was called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fish for people." Immediately they left their nets and followed him. As he went from there, he saw two other brothers, James son of Zebedee and his brother John, in the boat with their father Zebedee, mending their nets, and he called to them. Immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. "Follow me," says Jesus. "To do what?" they wonder. "To fish for people," says Jesus. "Sounds good," say Peter, Andrew, James, and John. They immediately leave their family businesses and join Jesus on his weird quest to fish for people. Let's be clear. At this point in the story, Peter, Andrew, James, and John have no idea what Jesus is talking about. It seems obvious to us because for centuries, preachers have explained that fishers of men are evangelists who bring lost souls into the kingdom of God. But is that really what Jesus means? Fishing is a violent act that involves tricking a fish into hooking itself, then dragging it up into the air where it cannot breathe, into the light where everyone can see it. It's not a very nice metaphor if you are the fish. Jesus could be enlisting these young men for a revolution, to fish out all the corrupt politicians and religious leaders in his nation and expose them for what they really are. Of course, that might not be what Jesus means either, but that's the point. Peter, Andrew, James, and John do not yet know what Jesus wants to do with them, and neither do we. But they still decide to leave their familiar lives behind and follow Jesus wherever he goes. It's a strange and difficult thing to leave what you know and set out for the unknown, but that is what it means to answer Jesus' call. He does not give us a roadmap or tell us much about our destination. He doesn't promise treasures when we arrive. Jesus simply looks us in the eyes and invites us to trust him. It's a radical decision. Before we really know him, before we know where he's going, before we know his plans for us, before all of our questions are answered, before we can ask about the retirement plan, Jesus invites us to follow him. It's normal to feel a little uneasy. You've been tricked by people before. You've spent your entire life playing it safe, being careful, not rushing into things, doing what you know. Your routines protect you, but they also keep you from growing, from changing, from exploring new frontiers. If your soul longs for new life, sooner or later, you will have to take a risk and step into the unknown. Jesus is the unknown. Sure, we've heard the gossip and the rumors, but we do not yet know Jesus in our personal experience. To follow him, to let him lead you, is a risk. But if your hope for new life, or your curiosity, or your sense of adventure, or your hunger and thirst for an encounter with God outweigh your fear, Jesus invites you to go with him and cross the threshold into the unknown. So here are some questions for you. Are you a spontaneous person? Or someone who always needs to know the outcome before you take a risk? Or have you hurt yourself by taking risks in the past? Have you missed out on opportunities because you were afraid? What excites you about stepping out into the unknown? What scares you about following Jesus before you know where he wants to lead you? What are the familiar aspects of your life that are holding you back? What would it cost to leave them behind? Spend some time reflecting on your answers to those questions. Talk to God about your fears. Ask God for the courage to step into the unknown. Ask God to give you enough patience to wait and see what Jesus wants from you. Sit in silence for a while and listen. And then pray quietly. Where you go, I will go.